Hey there, welcome to my new channel. I'm going to be talking about movies. New movies, old movies, bad movies, cult movies, all sorts of movies. The first week I'm just going to talk about new releases that are just out or just about to come out. And basically, hopefully that'll get people interested and I'll continue on with more obscure films as we go. The first three films I'm going to talk about are new Bond film Spectre, the Del Toro movie Crimson Peak, and a film that's been out for a couple of weeks, The Martian. Spectre, let's start with Spectre. Spectre is a brilliantly fun film. It's not deep at all. If you're a Bond fan, either the movies or the books, you're going to love it because there's enough depth for the readers of the books, but it's so much fun with all the set pieces and the way they build sequence to sequence. The first sequence actually is has a long opening shot that is really well done. And the one thing I see this film is it puts a smile on your face as you watch it. Scene by scene, it's just so much fun. If you're a Bond fan, it's just like everything you want in a Bond movie. You have Bond being suave, you have him being a bit arrogant, you have him being under pressure, and you have some great sequences. The highlight sequences for me were the opening credit Day of the Dead sequence, which went on for a while, went up and down buildings, through crowds, into a helicopter. Just one of those sequences, it was just enjoyable to watch and see it build and build and build. And they never went over the top ever with it. They always just seemed to know what was enough to make you enjoy it, what was enough to top the last sequence. It just had a lot of confidence, which is the big thing in this film. It's confident. It really seems to know what it's about. It doesn't need to go over the top. It doesn't need like a massive final action sequence that blows up a volcano or something. It just it just basically has a character-based action sequence at the end. It has car chases that are motivated. It has a great sequence in the snow with cars and planes, which is just a lot of fun. I mean, the whole movie is fun. And there's not much more you can really say about it. It's just go and see it because it's very enjoyable. Daniel Craig really has developed into a brilliant Bond. I mean, he's really got the swagger down now. I mean, the interesting thing they built from a realistic base, or a realistic for movies base, of the first one, and slowly edged in the more over the top elements, film by film, and it actually works well. So, particularly to this film, you can have character moments, but you can also just enjoy the swagger that Daniel Craig now has. Is very Connery-esque, but it's also his own. It doesn't feel like it needs anyone else. It's him. He's this Bond. It's a definitive Bond. It's really well made. So Spectre is just what you watch. I mean, it's probably, apart from Mad Max and John Wick, it's probably the best action movie of the year. I would compare it to Mission Impossible 5 in the sense of it knows what it's doing and it just goes for it. So really recommended. Okay, now on to Crimson Peak. Crimson Peak is a gothic romance with lots of gore. It's really good. It's excellent. But it's a weird movie that not many people like. Basically, the problem is that you're going to expect lots of horror. You get a bit of ghosts. You get a ghost story in it, but it's not really meant to scare you, the ghost story. It's more like a mystery element of this film. Also, the big mystery is about character, not what the atmosphere's doing. It's about what the character motivations are, what they're about, why they're doing things. And that's really where it works, because it builds and builds very slowly, confidently. And it just, if you like this kind of odd, romantic fantasy, you'll love this kind of movie. It's very Del Toro-ish movie. It's very, obviously a very personal movie. But it's so like personal that I think it kind of missed the mark for a lot of people because they expected something that it wasn't. So, but that's the way it goes sometimes. You just have to really accept what it is. The last 20 minutes are amazing because they build and build and build, and if some violence which you haven't seen before, and it's very character based. It's very enjoyable. You just don't see elements coming, and eventually they pay off. Even though there's some elements you expect and they deliver on certain genre tropes, but they still do lots of little tricks with it and all little nuances. The only thing I'd say against it is basically it's 20 minutes too long. It just, the middle section explains something, and it's like they didn't go in and kind of trim little bits that when the audience were ahead of you, which is a Del Toro thing. He does in every movie. I mean, it's one of those things he does. He kind of, his problems cutting it down to the core sometimes, which is part of the joy of the Del Toro movie actually, because you know you're going to get that in one of his movies. You're just going to get it, so you might as well enjoy it and know that's one of his weaknesses and just really go for it. But it's, again, like Spectre, it's just a joyful movie. If you don't go in this movie and get joy out of it, you're probably being a bit too cynical, because it's unironic, it's got some great visuals, and it actually wants to show a kind of how it's a movie about self-destruction ultimately, and what mistakes people make, and how far it can go. And it wants to please you with the images, with the suspense sequences, with the romantic sequences, with the costumes, with the decor. It's just out to please you, and it's a gorgeous movie. And for some reason, a lot of people seem to dislike it for that, but I love it. So I would say go see it if you get a chance, and see it in the cinema, because the cinema is where you really want to see this film. The Martian's a good little sci-fi movie. I mean, that's all it really is. I mean, it's a B-movie plot with an A-movie production value, which is kind of a Ridley Scott sci-fi movie, basically, because all his movies are basically B-movie ideas with A-movie production values. They're never usually as deep as people seem to think they should be, and they're good fun, but they're never, even Blade Runner is kind of silly after a while. It's not that as good as it thinks it is. It's not as smart as I think it is. Alien's the same. Prometheus is the same. Prometheus is really stupid. And The Martian's less stupid than most of them because it's based more on science, but it's still a kind of dumb movie guy trapped in space. But it's fun. It's basically a cheesy B movie done well. I mean, you've got Matt Damon stuck in Mars. You've got people trying to rescue him, and they have to try and be logical about it and try not. Basically, they have to try and be as realistic as possible about how they do it, because they can't just sacrifice everything to save one man. So it's about, there's politics as well as the science behind it. Well, space politics, movie politics. It's not real politics. It's just been massaged for a movie. But despite all of this, fact it's a dumb movie, and it's also has got like, it takes a lot of shortcuts. You never really feel like you're being in Mars with a guy for 2 years or something. You always feel like you're cutting ahead, so you don't feel, so the pace never makes you feel the isolation of the guy. But despite that, the great thing about it actually is it's optimistic. It's about people bringing themselves together, getting over obstacles to try and save one guy. And that's what's great about it. That's what's really enjoyable. It's an optimistic sci-fi movie. You don't get many of those. It's rare you get a really optimistic sci-fi movie, and that's what I think everyone's responding to. I might you can feel it as you're watching it, certain things they gloss over, but it doesn't matter because the optimism of the movie gets you through everything. And it's really an enjoyable movie. I mean, it's one of my favourite movies of the year, despite all its flaws, despite the fact that it thinks it's smarter than it actually is. But despite that, it's still so much fun. So I would say definitely go see it, but, aware that there's lots of flaws in it, it's really not that bright a movie. But it's sort of wonderfully cheesy, optimistic movie at the same time, so I'd definitely say go see it. But I think most people have by now anyway. Okay. This is the first video for this new channel about movies. Hopefully it's not too rough, and it'll get better as it goes along. This is my first attempt, so hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time.